My wife lost her first husband, James, 8 years ago. At the time, she was pregnant with her baby girl and miscarried soon after his death. Now we are expecting our first child together, a baby boy. She was set on the name James. I told her that's just too weird for me, and while it's a nice name, I don't want to name my son after her ex. She dropped it and eventually suggested the name Oliver. I loved it, and we agreed. 3 days ago, her family was over for dinner, and I told them about the name we've chosen. Her sister then said, "Oh, so like James." And I was confused, so sister said, "Well, that was James's middle name, wasn't it?" After they all left, I told my wife I've had it with her trying to push her ex into our lives like this. She said we already agreed on Oliver. I told her I'm not signing the birth certificate if she names him after her ex. She says I'm being insensitive. Her mother says I should let it go because it was just the middle name. Her sister says it's weird to name the baby after an ex in any scenario. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole times 1,000. I seriously cannot believe how many comments there are here where people are suggesting that you are the a-hole. Yes, she's a widow, and I understand that she probably loved her first husband dearly and that they were going to start a family. However, if you are going to move on and build a life with someone new, then you need to commit to that. If you don't, it's insanely cruel in many ways to your new partner. I'm not saying she needs to erase the memory of her first husband, but naming your kid after him is a little too much. Also, she straight up lied to you by omission by suggesting his middle name and not telling you that was his middle name. That's unbelievable. She did that because she wanted to get her way, and that was her way of trying to overcome your resistance to the idea and your objection to it. Honestly, it was downright manipulative and conniving. I can't help but wonder if this post were made by a woman whose husband was pulling the same shenanigans, if the comment section would look a little differently. You and your wife have some talking to do, and maybe you guys can come to some sort of compromise. I would definitely discuss her deceptive behavior. If there wasn't a child involved here, I would probably say that you should walk away from the relationship because of the poor character she has shown. But there is a child involved. This is going to be a difficult conflict to resolve because you guys have a baby on the way, and she is clearly not over her deceased husband. Yes, the a-hole, simply for describing your wife's late husband as an ex. Really? He passed away when they were still married. That makes him her late husband, not an ex. She shouldn't have lied to you about Oliver, so I guess it's really everyone sucks here. But your constant reference to her ex 5 times just grates at me. Why so jealous? So my sister-in-law, husband's sister, Jenny, just had a baby girl she named April Imogene. Her mother and grandmother were born in April, and her other grandmother's name was Imogene. Jenny had names picked out for a while. Her husband, Greg, told her she had complete freedom with names. Jenny wanted to name her son Caspian George. George for her grandfather, Imogene's husband. Greg's sister, Donna, was 3 months further along with twins, boy and girl, when they were both pregnant. When Greg announced they were expecting, with Jenny's permission, she wasn't there. Donna texted Jenny that it was her pregnancy year, and how dare she steal the spotlight with her, Jenny's, pregnancy. Greg and Donna's mother, Catherine, was thrilled about all the grandchildren. Jenny texted Greg, and he told Donna it would be great for all of the cousins to grow up together. That shut Donna up. Jenny said to me that Catherine and Donna had been constantly asking her about names. Jenny didn't tell them because she knew Donna would use them for her twins, as revenge for getting pregnant in the same year. So I suggested decoy names. Together we came up with them: Clementine Greer and Dexter Wynn. Donna used the decoy names. Donna had a smug look when she announced the names. Donna remarked, "You had to choose a new name because I named my babies first, when they were alone." Angry and in pain from the birth, Jenny snapped at her that Donna used the decoy names since she, Jenny, knew that Donna would pull something like this. I came in and Donna ran out crying. Catherine and Daniel moved to Greg's house to help with the baby since Jenny was still not recovered and in a lot of pain from the birth. Greg was exhausted taking care of Jenny and April. Donna throws a fit, even though her husband's parents moved into her home to help with the twins. Donna tells Jenny that they are her parents and that they need to help only her with the twins. Donna revealed the decoy names. Donna told Jenny that she had her own parents, and why can't they take care of Jenny's family? Jenny's parents live in France and could not travel to the USA. Greg was sleeping in another room. Catherine and Daniel told Donna to get out. They told her that they were glad to help Greg and Jenny out, and Greg was their child too. Donna stormed out. Donna told the extended family and her husband's parents her edited version of events, where Jenny initially deceived her with the names, and how Jenny is forcing her parents to take care of the baby by themselves, with no help from her. The people reached out to Greg and his parents to get the full story. They called Donna out for her aggressive behavior. Catherine, Daniel, and Greg have gone no contact with Donna. Donna called Jenny and accused her of being a liar, turning everyone against her, giving her twins ugly names, and breaking up the family. Jenny blocked Donna. Are my sister-in-law and I a-holes? You are not the a-hole, but Donna has some serious issues. You gave her twins ugly names? She chose them. Also, I kind of want to smack Donna for all this complaining. Wish I could have kids. I'm terrible, but I like the decoy names. Play silly games, win daft prizes. There could be worse names. No contact sounds like the best thing. Feel sorry for her hubby and twins. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. Having decoy names was a brilliant move. It sounds like Donna is a piece of work, not just from what you said, but also because extended family knew to reach out for the full story. It sounds like they know from experience not to trust her. Imagine saddling a human being with a name you don't like, just to score some petty points. I hope her partner, assuming she has one, realizes what's happened and gets the names changed quick. My husband and I, 25 female, are newly married and expecting a baby. For context, I earn about $3,200 a month, which is not a lot if you consider rent, $1,200, food, bills, and a baby. I'm also sponsoring my husband from the UK, and we are waiting on his immigration papers, Canada. For the past few months, my mom has been convincing me to get on her mortgage, worth $800K, after selling her $300K home, and her retiring in 2 years. I put my foot down and said no, because I spoke to the mortgage officer, who stated that it would severely impact my ability to buy a home or qualify for debt, given that I'm in such a large amount. I would also be held liable if she ever defaults. When I told her that, she was angry that I was listening to outsiders who know nothing, instead of her, and how she was only doing this to benefit me. I also told her I need my credit and debt ratio in good standing, as this would help me and my husband qualify for something down the line, once he starts working, or if I need a line of credit for emergency expenses. And she started yelling at me and crying, telling me why God created her to be this good person who wants to help her kids, but her kids don't love her back. Later on, she told me she was returning her car, in which I later found out it was to buy a brand new and bigger one for about $35,000. She offered my husband and I to buy her old. I told her we would look into it once we get the price, but I told her to keep in mind that my husband would be driving, and since he's new, insurance would be sky high. She said it would all be okay and to be organized with money, etc. The car dealer comes back with the price for her old car, and it's worth $15,000 and $360 a month financing. The foreign driver's insurance would be over $500 a month. When I got the figures, I said no because, once again, we're on a single income, baby coming soon, and I'll get a pay cut during my leave, so we won't be able to afford it. My husband was more than okay with this and didn't like that my mom was getting me caught up in taking on debt, knowing our situation, and has never once offered to help us. When I told her, she yelled at me, saying that she was helping us. Why won't you accept my help? And, fine, go buy a rundown car. Don't come crying to me when it breaks down. I also told her that things are getting expensive and I need to save money. She went on a rant and said, "You've had that job for 3 years. You were single and no kids. How much did you save? Huh? How much do you have in savings, yet you can't even buy a car when I'm trying to help you?" I broke down crying because, yes, I was single with no kids, but she was charging me $1,000 a month. Salary at the time was $1,800 a month, and rent when her mortgage was $1,100. I paid the internet, hydro, gas, and my credit card and food. She only shopped for food for herself and boyfriend, so I never had much left. But for a second, I did believe I was bad with money and a failure for not being able to afford these things. The most savings I've done is with my husband because he understands. It's demanding, and we've been getting by with using public transportation, and I make more now, so I finally have enough to put money aside and pay off some debts I had from before. Also, now that we're having a baby, I always keep in mind baby expenses, and that $860 a month she wants me to spend for the car can come in really handy for a baby. Nevertheless, her comments made me feel like a total failure because she tells me she's doing all of this for my benefit, and I'm being hard-headed, or I'm defying her, my mom, to listen to outsiders who are the financial and mortgage advisors. My husband is fed up because I'm putting stress on our baby, and he also feels powerless against Canadian immigration is taking forever. He believes that she has no right pocket-watching us. He's so angry that he's actually thinking of moving us back to the UK with him away from her. He also wants to confront her, as my mom is making it seem like he's the one changing me for the worst because I'm choosing to share finances with him over her. I just feel awful, and I've been crying all day because I want to accept her help, but I know deep down if I do, how will my family survive? I'm just over it. Please, do nothing financial for your mother, regardless of what she says. Focus on your new family member, your home, your husband. Prioritize them and your needs. And duck the duck off with your mother's BS. Say no, and then leave it. Your husband and advisors are correct. Your mother is trying to use you for her benefit, not yours. She's not trying to help you. She's trying to help herself. She's just guilt-tripping you to manipulate you into giving her what she wants. I'm pregnant with my first child. My sister-in-law, my husband's sister, has one girl 3 years old, and she suffered one miscarriage. 2 months ago, she announced she's pregnant again, and her pregnancy was going well. I found out I'm pregnant 1 month ago, and my husband and I decided to host a dinner to announce the surprise of our own pregnancy as well. We hosted a dinner for my family and his. During dinner, my sister-in-law announced that she had miscarried again, and she was devastated. We consoled her and tried to encourage her to feel better. At that point, I felt so bad, and I had doubts about announcing my pregnancy. But because the dinner was out of nowhere, both my parents and my in-laws expected to hear some kind of announcement about something. After some time passed and the consolation of my sister-in-law was over, and we moved on with other topics, my husband and I decided we should announce it, since that's why we were hosting the dinner in the first place. We announced we are expecting, and we could tell my in-laws and my sister-in-law with her husband were not that happy about it. My parents were delighted since it is going to be their first grandchild. My parents-in-law offered a cold congratulations, but they didn't say or do anything more than that, and just skipped it altogether. I understood why they did that, and I knew the risk that this would happen when my husband and I decided to announce it. But my sister-in-law and her husband made comments about how it's insensitive that we couldn't wait, and we rubbed it in their face after what they've been through. My husband and I tried to defend our stance, saying that this is why we hosted the dinner in the first place, in order to share the happy news. My sister-in-law's husband said that as soon as sister-in-law announced her miscarriage, then we should forget about the announcement and change the topic, or make up something fake and insignificant to announce, and how we are very insensitive for what we did. Am I the a-hole? Edit. They knew the dinner we hosted was in order for my husband and I to make an announcement about something. We told them when we invited him that we also have something to announce. They knew the purpose of the dinner, they just didn't know what the exact announcement would be. Who hijacks a dinner to announce their miscarriage? Why did she not send out the memo before the dinner? Why not give the host the chance to talk before bringing the mood down with her bad news? Why did she not pick a better time to make her sad announcement? Yeah, her logic works against her too, not the a-hole. Edited to add. No more telling them at all in the future. Let them find out on their own from now on. Not the a-hole. It's not your fault that they chose your dinner that you had solely for the purpose of making your announcement, to make their announcement about the miscarriage. They should have waited until another time. I don't understand all the condemnation. I've had several miscarriages myself and wouldn't have ever A. announced one at a dinner party, and B. witched out another pregnant woman out of jealousy. Since when is it okay to verbally attack a pregnant woman? And it was your event, undertaken for a specific reason, that they chose to hijack. It seems some people are expecting a level of consideration from you way over what you received yourself, and what they'd give themselves. Not the a-hole. Backstory. I, 25 female, have 4 sisters aging from 21 to 33 years old. While my younger sisters, Amy, 21, and Kinsey, 23, are awesome and super supportive and helpful, my 2 older sisters, Leah, 28, and Sam, 33, are up for debate, having caused nothing but stress and mental exhaustion since day 1 of my engagement. When I announced my bridal party, which included all my sisters as bridesmaids and my childhood friend as my maid of honor, Leah got super pouty, and Sam started arguing with me and finding flaws in all mine and my fiancé's decisions. It got worse as I took the entire wedding party and our mom dress shopping. After 2 salons and 10 dresses, I found my dress. However, Leah decided as I was changing back into street clothes that she would be trying on dresses herself. None of us knew where she went until she came walking out in what was my second choice. She smirked at me and immediately commented on how she knew she looked skinnier and better in it. For reference, yes, she is extremely thin, about 140 pounds at 5'7", and dainty, but I myself weigh 145 pounds at 5'11", with more muscle due to club volleyball. I was so frustrated with her. Having grown up with an overachieving family, it was nice to have time where I actually had everyone's attention on me. Sam didn't look fazed. She actually took pictures of Leah and commented on how pretty she was. Kinsey and Amy were fuming. If anyone is from the South, they know a South mama's wrath. Leah invoked it. Our mom ripped her a new one. In order to save money, my fiancé and I chose to have friends, family, and ourselves do as much DIY and participate in bringing the wedding together instead of hiring a lot of vendors. Sam and Leah hate this. They both whine about how they want princess and expensive things, telling us we are doing it wrong. Fiancé and I aren't materialistic. Both of us want to invite our family and friends to celebrate our happiness. It doesn't have to be extravagant, just special. When I tell them this, both of them always roll their eyes. Leah has made a couple remarks about how fiancé could do better than me, but I'm brushing it off due to all her pettiness. But should I read into those more? Our photographer and baker are high school friends of my fiancé, who messaged him 2 nights ago, asking if he knew why Sam was going around saying the wedding was postponed due to fiancé getting cold feet. He was furious when he heard this. He called all his friends who were helping, and I called mine to reassure them nothing was wrong, and the date was still set. When I told my parents, Mom was furious. However, Dad just told me to calm down, and it was probably a misunderstanding. Leah and Sam both played dumb and acted like I was accusing them of something they didn't do, which made our dad even angrier, and Sam's bratty husband got involved. It feels like my bridal party is trying to sabotage me. I just don't want them to ruin a day meant to celebrate a new chapter in my life. Am I the a-hole for wanting 2 of my sisters not to come? Not the a-hole. You have every right to only invite the people who you want to have at your wedding. At the very least, I'd remove them from the wedding party, if not the whole wedding, for their terrible behavior. You'll likely get blowback from your family for doing that, though, but I think you're justified in not wanting them around.